This is TF from Team Pumpenstein, and I'm on a mission from Rod. Alright, right now we're going to set the timing on the gun, and timing is set in one primary way, which is setting the lug depth, which is actually inside here on the hammer, setting the lug depth and when the trigger will, when the gun will shoot. Now this gun looks just fine. You pump it back, you pump it forward, shoots, no problem. Which is true. If you were to shoot this gun only singly, you'd have no problems. But in auto trigger, this gun is horribly inefficient right now. And let me show you why. Hold the trigger down to auto trigger, pull the pump back. The gun fires with the bolt at this position. And let me take the bolt out and I'll show you what's really going on. There's an air passage that lets air out of the bottom area here, out of the valve, and through this bolt that fires the ball forward. You want this bolt to be closed when it fires, in this position. And I'll just show it to you like this. If it fires like this, it's in a partially closed position and only some of the air is getting out. So what you want to do is you want to set the timing on the gun so that the gun fires in the closed position or very close to the closed position. And as you can see again, it's in a very open position. So how do you fix that? What you're going to want to do is lower the lug. Now what you're doing, you're taking your 1/8 inch wrench again, that's the one you use pretty much the most on this gun, and you insert it. There's actually a hole in the bolt that lets this wrench go by the bolt and go into the bottom tube into the lug. Put it in there, and you're going to want to feel that click and get positive with the lug. It's not, so pull back on the cocking rod here, and there, that dropped in. Drop the lug at about half turn, quarter turn at a time. I would say this is about a half turn out. So let's see how I'm doing. Much closer, still a little too far away. What you want is 1/8 inch of a gap in your auto trigger. Because the reality is you're pumping so fast that by the time the air gets out of the valve, it will be closed at a 1/8 inch gap. That's a little bit too far. It's about a quarter. So let's drop it another quarter turn. Pull back on the cocking rod. Quarter turn. See how I'm doing now. Getting closer. Just about got it. I'm going to say another quarter. Money. That's it for that. Now, one other way you can adjust, not necessarily timing, but you can adjust this gun, is by using a 3/32 screw on this hole right here. This hole right here is actually an over travel, an under travel screw for your trigger. So what you can do is you can insert the proper wrench, and that's not it. You want a 3/32, not a 5/64. Insert that wrench, and you can tighten that up. Now what you don't want, and this has been Loctited, which is a good thing, adjust that just a little bit at a time. What you don't want is to feel binding on the trigger in the back part of your pump stroke. And you'll know what I mean. You'll be holding it down and it'll suddenly feel like it binds in the pump. The pump all of a sudden feels it got sticky somehow. That means you've adjusted this trigger too far. Set this to your preference, but don't overset it or you'll know. And that's about perfect. So there's the two major settings for the trigger and 1/8 inch gap in auto trigger on your back block. And that'll set up the timing on the gun just right. Thanks.
Hubba, hubba, hubba.